All right, let's do it live on a Tuesday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Bo. He is the great Z. Day 23 of 120, and potentially today could be the day that we have a new head coach. We'll see. Still have a couple of hours. Certainly, if we were 1 to 3, we wouldn't have had the coach done. Potentially now at 3 to 5, maybe we will.
Maybe we will.
If it happens at 5:05.
They want white smoke. I mean, I see what appears to be white smoke out there, but that's just snow. No orange smoke as of yet.
Did you have more snow today?
The waiting game, of course.
So did I, yeah.
Yeah, it's never going to stop.
No, it's never going to stop. Ever.
The waiting game is on. You know, for the Cleveland Browns right now, we're all in the kind of the same boat that you are, right? It's been very cool to be in this building today. There is definitely some energy in the building as you feel like you're getting towards a major decision in terms of the leadership of this organization. And as we sit right now, the 4 candidates that we know are still in play are Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken, Anthony Lynn, current Browns defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, and the Rams passing game coordinator Nate Scheelhaase. And we talked yesterday at length about Scheelhaase. We've talked a lot about Jim Schwartz. And then there's Todd Monken, who was here with us as the offensive coordinator in 2019, then went to Georgia.
Yep.
Was very successful there. Goes to the Ravens, leads Lamar Jackson to the 2 best seasons of his career, including 1 MVP. And then at the end, it was, I think, in some ways, John Harbaugh's belief in Todd Monken, given the relationship had not gone where they wanted it to go with Lamar and Monken, that his loyalty said, no, I'm not getting rid of him. And John Harbaugh's out and now is in New York, and reports are if Monken is not our next head coach, that he will then be the offensive coordinator for the New York Giants. So here's where you're at. You know, on the offensive side of the ball, it's Monken, Lynn, and Scheelhaase. I think Scheelhaase and Monken obviously would be the 2 favorites. Scheelhaase in particular, who we've spent a lot of time talking about.
Yep.
He is not going to be the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, who met with him last night via Zoom, as they've hired Joe Brady to be their next head coach, which we'll get to in a little bit. But that's kind of where you are right now for the Browns. And the plan was all along to have Jim Schwartz remain as defensive coordinator. Andrew Berry obviously is the GM and is leading this coaching search. And they're looking, I think, all along, it felt like, for an offensive mind to pair with Jim Schwartz. I think we felt like that was a younger offensive mind. That certainly is not what Todd Monken is.
No.
But he is very accomplished coach who would be looking to become a first-time head coach for himself. So, yeah, a lot of waiting at this point. A lot of kind of, I think, intrigue at this point. We've heard a lot of things. We've heard the pendulum swing. Oh, it's going to be Scheelhaase. Oh, it's going to be Schwartz.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam Schefter less than an hour ago saying Todd Monken is very much in play there. So the names you had been hearing were really just Scheelhaase, Udinski, and Schwartz, and now Monken's name has kind of been bandied about by the insiders who had not necessarily used that name prior to recently. So that's kind of where we are. We're waiting just like you are. It would be very cool if it happens at the time while we're on the air here. But I know that there's a lot of excitement, and this is a big decision. And if you think about those 3 names that we think are predominantly the ones in play, these are very different directions.
I was just going to say that. These 3 options that we're illuminating right now could not be more different in terms of their candidacy and who they are as people and what they represent in terms of the choice you're making. This is not like you're choosing between Scheelhaase, Clint Kubiak, and Mike LaFleur. Like this, that would be all, okay, well, that's a type that we're looking for. So you're looking, I mean, Scheelhaase, has called plays, as far as I know, just the 1 year at Iowa State as
Correct.
the offensive coordinator at Iowa State. I think that's the only time he's ever called plays. Former Big Ten quarterback, 35-year-old.
All Big Ten.
I actually looked it up. I actually covered 3 of his starts against Ohio State, twice in Champaign, once in Columbus. 2 of those were freezing in Champaign. And so I looked back and saw that. So former quarterback at Illinois, 4-year starter at Illinois at quarterback. Young dude has spent most of his career in the college game, got to the Rams a couple of years ago as pass game coordinator, but had never called plays in the NFL and called plays just for 1 year, as far as I could tell, in college, and that was at Iowa State. Todd Monken's the old head in this from an offensive standpoint. He's brilliant. I mean, we had him in here. You and I have talked glowingly about Todd Monken always. I mean, every time we talk about what 100%. He did at Georgia, what he did at Baltimore. In 2019, that season, he was in here a lot. We talked to him a lot.
Yes.
And
this was his sanctuary.
I think that's fair. And so We love talking to him. We love seeing him. He'd pop in, like a lot of it off camera. He would come in and just shoot it and have a good time. Predominantly off camera. And we'd talk about everything, and he'd talk about offense and football and all of it. And what he did at Georgia was incredible. Not a coincidence. They won the 2 national championships there while he was the offensive coordinator. We were very pissed when he went to the Ravens. Pleased not there. And then Lamar had, really his best seasons with Monken. Yeah. And then Jim, we know those first 2 are offensive guys, obviously. Jim is the defensive mastermind. It's been a while since he's been in the head coaching realm. He interviewed, obviously, in Baltimore this year and is being considered here as well. But from an age standpoint, more similar to Todd than Nate. But in terms of what your hiring standpoint, personality-wise, Todd and Jim are similar-ish.
Yes.
In terms of pretty straightforward and direct.
I
don't know Nate well enough to know how he would handle like main media or anything like that. I wouldn't know.
Todd turned 60 on February 5th from an age standpoint. He turns 60 on February 5th. Jim Schwartz will also turn 60 this year, June the 2nd. So they're both 59 right now, turning 60 this year. Scheelhaus 35. That is a completely different ball game in terms of the age profile of those coaches. And Todd is a very straight shooter. He is very blunt, very direct. And I think that that's probably one of the reasons that he's been so successful. I think it's also probably one of the reasons that, things with Lamar, who is reportedly very difficult in his own right, became somewhat difficult. But it's funny because had that relationship not had any potential issues, Todd Monken's not available. He's a guy who's interviewing for head coaching jobs for sure, but he certainly is not, a free agent, as it were. Now, we know that the reality is he's not. He's still going to be John Harbaugh's OC if he does not end up as the head coach here. But that's how you end up in situations like this. And that's the thing. You've got experience. Jim Schwartz has been a coach starting 1989. As a graduate assistant at Maryland for linebackers in 1989, the year Miss K was born. Todd Monken has been a coach, you guessed it, since 1989 when he was a graduate assistant at Grand Valley State before going to Notre Dame and then moving on. Kind of throughout his career, he's been a passing game coordinator at Oklahoma State, an offense coordinator at Eastern Michigan, passing game coordinator at LSU, a wide receivers coach at the Jags, Oklahoma State offensive coordinator, the University of Southern Mississippi, head coach from 13 to 15, the Bucks offensive coordinator from 16 through 18, Browns offensive coordinator 19, Georgia offensive coordinator 2022, Ravens coordinator 23 to 25. So this is a guy who's been involved in the game for a very, very long time, 36 years going on 37. Same with Jim Schwartz. So they've both been in the NFL, or in coaching, college and the NFL longer than Nate Scheelhaus has been alive.
Yep.
And so I think that there is, on some level, you've got a question of experience versus youth. I think that obviously has to be a part of the debate for these to be, and Anthony Lynn is certainly a very veteran tenured coach as well. And then you have to look at, I think, kind of where we are as an organization. Are we a team that we need somebody that can grow with us and we can grow with, or are we dropping somebody into a ready-made let's go situation? And it feels like probably a little bit more the former than the latter.
I think that's the fascinating part of this is we're in a transition phase right now as an organization in terms of the football talent on the roster. And this is a massive offseason in free agency, draft, all of it. Like, it's critical that you buttress this roster. I mean, we haven't even begun to get into that yet in terms of like where the holes are, how they have to be fixed, weapons, all the things that we do in the offseason. We haven't even gotten there yet. And so I think the other thing, and the only people who know this is the folks who are in those meetings with these candidates, is what is your vision for how to get this right over the next couple of seasons? That's what it's got to be. And I think that vision is what's going to sell whatever happens here next.
Yep.
Because I do think you could go a lot of different ways with this roster as it stands right now. I think that, I mean, in a simple way, you look at what happened in the division this year and you say we're not that far from competing in the division. You get some competent offensive play, you get some more weapons, and you can be right there competing for it. On the other side, though, if you're trying to build sustained success over a long period and have a long run at it, well, that's a little bit of a different question.
Absolutely.
I mean, you look at the two teams that are playing in the Super Bowl this year. Those teams had a bunch of draft picks that they hit on. They hit on a ton of draft picks, draft after draft after draft. Seattle went and got their quarterback in a different way. They went and signed him in free agency. New England drafted theirs. But neither one of those teams were in the postseason a year ago. Now they're playing for the Super Bowl. And so, like, just philosophically, how do you build to that end? How do you get to a point where you can go win a Super Bowl? That's the thing that is going to be fascinating. And how does whoever is chosen to be the coach here, what is their vision for that? And the other thing is that vision has to match up with Andrew Berry's vision because he's still the general manager here and he's part of this. And so AB's vision of that has to kind of mesh, I would think, at the very least, with whoever the head coach is for how to build this.
100%. And it's got to, right?
Yeah,
you
can't go backwards.
Yeah, and that's why this is such a big decision and will be a big direction, I think, for this organization. And I think that's why this is a big one, because I don't think what you want to do is be in a situation where you've got to do this again soon. I think that this is something that you want that stability and you want that success. And so I think the question is, what is it that you're looking for? Is it, we've talked about, a culture kind of reset and overhaul. Mm-hmm. Can a young guy do that for you? Can that youthful energy, can somebody who was a Big Ten quarterback, all Big Ten quarterback, can that guy have that leadership skills where he's able to get a football team to follow him, to get a locker room to follow him? Or do you go with somebody who's been there, who has done it at the highest levels in Jim Schwartz and Todd Monken, who are, going to be 60, who are going to have the respect for, their resume is their respect, and they are going to be, I think, very direct, hold people very accountable due to that directness and bluntness. I think those are the things that are being weighed right now and that will ultimately lead to the final decision.
People rave about Shieldhouse just around the league. Like when his name started popping up even a couple of weeks ago, there was just a lot of like how dynamic he is. Like certainly feels like he's got that juice to him. He did interview, and you mentioned this earlier, he did interview last night with Buffalo, and they made the decision to stick with Joe Brady today as the offensive. He's been the offensive coordinator in Buffalo, and now he's elevated to becoming the head coach. I did not see that one coming. I thought that they would go in a different direction entirely, but instead they keep Joe Brady. I'm very curious I'd be very curious to know Josh Allen's role in all of that and Brandon Beane's role. Obviously, they're in the middle of all of it. That just screams like those two guys.
I also want to know Joe Brady's role in Keon Coleman, since we were told it was the coaches that on offense that wanted him.
Point, yeah.
And Sean McDermott was a defensive coach. There's a great defensive
there
coach right there. Tarves, our guy. Yes.
Look at that guy. The best.
What did Joe Brady have to do with Keon Coleman? I'd imagine probably a great deal.
Yeah, I would think.
So that, there's a little bit.
I didn't see that coming. Brady there?
No, but obviously Josh Allen was the most comfortable. I thought, again, Davis Webb was a name we'd heard about a ton for them, and I don't even know if he ended up even interviewing. I'm not sure if he ever did.
Did he yesterday?
Maybe. Shieldhouse did yesterday on Zoom. Yeah. Udinski interviewed with them. Josh Allen was in all those interviews, so my guess is ultimately he said, I'm comfortable with Joe Brady, so that's what I want, and that's what they did.
Dr. J threw the graphic up here on your screen if you're watching on the YouTube. That's where we stand right now with the Joe Brady hire. The Bills with Joe Brady. Mike McCarthy was actually introduced today in Pittsburgh. Jesse Minter in Baltimore. John Harbaugh with the Jets. Kevin Stefanski, who was introduced officially today down in Atlanta. He is with the Falcons. Jeff Hafley to the Dolphins and Robert Saleh to the Titans. So that's the way that it looks right now with 3 jobs still open. Ours, Arizona, and, of course, Las Vegas. It does feel like Vegas, and it feels like Kubiak could land in one of those spots.
It feels like Kubiak to Vegas, and it feels like I think Kubiak to Vegas and maybe Mikey LaFleur to the Cardinals.
Okay. Well, they would theoretically be able to do the LaFleur thing now.
Yep.
If
they're supposedly they're taking him to dinner. Either they took him to dinner last night or they're taking him to dinner tonight, and they are going out with him or trying to lock that down ASAP.
It'd be very interesting to know how Bills fans feel about the Joe Brady promotion.
Yeah.
I got one buddy of mine who's a diehard Bills fan, and what he wanted. I just talked to him about this weekend. Coach's son, great kid, and we were talking, and he said, "I just want Josh throwing lasers again."
Yep.
And let's just have fun and sling it around and win some games with Josh having fun. So maybe this gets you there with Joe Brady. I don't know, but I don't know if this feels like, if you're Buffalo, are you in a better spot now than you were a month ago?
Again, what we know to be true about what happened in Buffalo, and what I think that press conference exposed rather clearly, even though it was trying not to, was that there was a power struggle that was between the general manager and the head coach. The head coach lost it, and so he had to be out. So are they in a better spot? No.
No, I can't. No, it's hard to sell it that they would.
They still have Josh Allen. Now, what's interesting to me is, and part of the reason where I think that job ended up maybe not being as appealing as it would have been prior to that press conference, is because you had, like, Mike McDaniel was like, I'm good, not even going to go through with the interview with them.
Right.
There are some things in there that were very surprising, because you still get to have the queen on the chessboard. You have Josh Allen. Like, that is, you can't start much better than that.
Yeah, I guess that's where I was kind of going with. I thought Baltimore was the best overall job, just because I think their roster's the best.
Yep.
That was available. To me, like, Mike Minner ought to be able to go there and be a Super Bowl contender right now. I mean, there's really not many holes on that roster. Buffalo's got holes on the roster,
100%.
but they have the best player in the sport in his prime. So that's a situation that is always going to be appealing.
Who's calling the plays for the Ravens? I think that's going to be a very big
have they done
higher
that yet?
job.
They haven't done that yet, right?
No.
Minner hasn't named an OC?
No, not that I know of.
I mean, that's the thing about what Todd did, which I just have so much respect for, because I was trying to think, like, I mean, the offense he coordinated here wasn't obviously what he wanted to do, but even in his years in Georgia, I mean, they were a pretty traditional offense, and then the offense that he ran in Baltimore was really catered to Lamar and took full advantage of all Lamar's skills.
Yep.
So I think those things that is a fascinating one. Like, who gets that job and who gets that?
And how about the fact that nobody, it seems like, wants to be the Eagles' offensive coordinator?
Yeah, I wonder what that's about.
It's got to be about Jalen. It's got to be
tough to coach. Not tough to coach. I don't think it's that, but just like there are limitations. And
that guy's won a Super Bowl and played darn good in a Super Bowl that they lost.
I know,
but it was tough this year.
Yeah, I think for a lot of these guys, I wonder how much it weighs on them. Like, how many chances am I going to get at this? I want to make sure that I get a chance to shine.
Yeah,
like, I might not get back in this realm.
Yeah,
how many opportunities, how many times this come around? For every Mike McCarthy who's been hired now by 3 organizations, there's a bunch of guys who are one and dones.
Absolutely.
And never see the light of day again. So I'm sure all that stuff is being weighed as this all goes along. So there could be something today. I think it's safe to say this: there is nothing that would prohibit something from happening today. If you want to make a head coaching hire today, you're good to go. You've talked to everybody that you need to talk to on it. Now it's just a matter of executing that plan.
I believe it will be at some point today.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah.
Those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Speaking of Mike McCarthy, he was introduced today over in Pittsburgh. We'll get updated on all of that. We're off and running on a Tuesday. Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Add more fun to your Phantom of the Bally Bet Sportsbook app. Download today. Get 50 back in bonus bets. You place the first wager of 10 or more. Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. We've shared this story before, but this would have been in the Stefanski coaching search. Mike McCarthy was in here in a lovely camel jacket.
Yes, he was.
And we ran into him in the restroom, and he sat. We used to have a couch right here.
There was a couch.
He sat there for a while, while, and was really nice. I mean, I not like had a conversation, but like a little bit of small talk at the facilities.
Sure.
You know, He was, hey, coach, how you doing? And it was good. And now, I mean, just think about this from a resume standpoint. Head coach of the Green Bay Packers, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, it's three pretty iconic franchises.
I mean, those three are Mount Rushmores.
Yeah.
All three of them.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's wild. He was introduced, and it's also very against type, as we've talked about a lot for Pittsburgh. I mean, everybody, they've only had 3 coaching hires in 60 years. All guys were in their 30s. Mike is in his 60s at this point. He is a Pittsburgh guy, and I'm assuming that helped. And speaking of being a Pittsburgh guy, this was Mike McCarthy's opening statement over in Pittsburgh.
All right, here we go. Thank you, Art. I think thought at least be able to get started. Oftentimes coaches and players, you put on new team colors, and it takes a minute to feel comfortable in those new colors. But to be blessed beyond any measure, one day to put on the colors you wore since you brought home. I apologize. Right, I told you not to sit my family down here in front. This is so unfair. When you come home from Mercy Hospital, I do want to thank Art Rooney, Homework on, Dan Rooney, and the entire Steelers organization for the trust they placed in me to represent one of the most storied franchises in all of sports. I understand and embrace the responsibility, the privilege, and the weight that comes with this stewardship. This city, this franchise, this fan base means the world to me.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that.
I think that's cool.
I like it.
I mean, I know we hate him, but at the same time, like, I mean, a Cleveland kid coaching the Browns is a pretty crazy thing to wrap your head around.
Yeah. I mean, I listened to the opening. I'm like, okay, maybe this was a good idea. That being said, I think I got a really good chance to get my first win in Pittsburgh this fall.
It's a cool story, and real human emotion is powerful, and it's palpable in that
good
clip,
for him.
And good for him. Yes,
and by the way, so I
more
looked
of
up
that,
his,
please.
Yeah, more of it, absolutely.
With the Packers, he was 125-77, and 2 ties, 10-8 in the playoffs, won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
The Dallas Cowboys, 2020 through 2024, 49-35 in the regular season, 1-3 in the playoffs. I mean,
he's won.
Yeah.
Yeah, the criticism of him is that he only won the one Super Bowl with Favre and Rodgers. I mean, I don't think anyone's critical of his Dallas Cowboys tenure.
Yep.
There's nobody out there that I think is like, oh, that didn't work. Like, that worked. In Dallas, he won a lot. They didn't get it done in the postseason, but I never looked at any of the Cowboys teams who were like, oh, yeah, go win the Super Bowl. Any of that of the teams he coached. There were teams in Green Bay that you looked at and said, go win the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
And they got the one, and it feels like maybe there should have been more, and I think that's kind of the only criticism. But he wins consistently. I'm sure he'll win over there. He was asked by Tim Benz on whether he would like Aaron Rodgers back. Here's McCarthy's answer to that.
That's nice the way he asked that, right? That was slick. But I mean, definitely. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't. But I think just like anything, knowing Aaron long enough, going through seasons, when guys are up at that stage of their career, they need to step away and decompress it. I think that's very important. The game is so emotional, what these men commit to and what they put into it. I think that time away is important. And I have spoken to Aaron, and so that's really where we are there. But I was able to sit back and watch the games. I watched most of the Pittsburgh games on TV, and I thought he was a great asset for the team.
He was then asked on kind of managing all of that, the state of the Steelers' search for a franchise quarterback, while also, and this was from Art Rooney, like any year you're not competing for trying to win, you're wasting a year. Here was how he answered that question.
I think you're always developing the quarterback, and been blessed to have great starters. Particularly the last one, Dak Prescott, Aaron and Green Bay, Brett. But we've always approached it as the quarterback room, and because that second quarterback, a third quarterback, they need to emulate the starter. Because that starter is dictating the rhythm and the timing and the precision with the perimeter guys. So I'm excited where I'm going to this. I'm really excited about Will Howard. I think he's someone that I thought he really came on there at Ohio State. I'm anxious to work with him. So it'd be great to have Aaron back. But Will and Mason, I'm really excited to get started with those guys.
Will Howard?
Interesting. I thought it was interesting, and I think I heard it right, that he said, I had the opportunity to coach a lot of great quarterbacks, particularly the last one, Dak Prescott, and then was just like, and Aaron and Brett.
All gold. The first two are gold jackets.
The first two are gold jackets.
Yeah.
The third is not.
Third is not.
But
no.
He said particularly.
Yeah.
The last one.
Maybe that was just a slip of tongue, that he just meant, like, especially these three. Maybe he was lumping them all together.
I don't know. I thought that was
I
guarantee Aaron heard that.
Yeah. Honestly, though, like, if you're them, I don't think – I guess that's why I think this hire is so fascinating because, like, on one hand, like, Mike's going to bring instant credibility, culture, like, not that they need it over there, but, like, he's going to bring all of those things. But to me, they don't need – they've been Band-Aiding this for a long time. Like, far be it for me, I don't want them to have success, not in any way, but, like, at the same time, like, they've got a real roster reconstruct that needs to be done in order to get younger in a big way and get more dynamic offensively. And obviously the quarterback question. Look, if you don't have a young franchise quarterback, you got to go find one.
That's
the whole thing.
Everything about it. That's the whole league. That is the whole league.
I'm going to go to number 5. He is 62 years old, I do believe. Here's McCarthy on how long he plans on coaching in Pittsburgh.
Well, I think we're going to shift the dog years, number one. So it should be funny in your first press conference. That backfired on me last time. But I think really, Coach Noel, growing up in the 70s, I just, when I got into coaching, that's when you look at someone you would like to emulate. And what Bill Kyer and Mike Tomlin have done here, trust me, I have great respect for that. But I really am. Hell, I can't even get through the press conference. I'm looking forward to getting started tomorrow. And, this game is about winning. The game has changed. My first year in the NFL was 1993, and roles have changed. The way you train your team has changed. So those are things I'm focused on. I hope it lasts a very long time.
Even by their standards, if he lasts 10 years, that would be nothing.
Nothing. By the way, I don't like this. The greatest quarterback to ever walk this planet, Joe Montana, is currently on the Pat McAfee show, and he said, quote, I think Mike McCarthy is a great hire for the Steelers. He knows what it's all about in Pittsburgh, end quote.
Jeff George wouldn't do that to you. Neither would Steve Young.
They wouldn't even be on the shows. They wouldn't be on the shows.
Well, you just lumped George in with Young.
No, I'm throwing Jeff George. Jeff George, we know we're trying to track him down. He's a bit of a recluse.
That's the G-Man. I know G-Man's listening today.
He should be working on it right now while he's trying to recover from influenza. He's physically not able to do things, but his mind is sharp.
I would like to bring back the a more common use of the word convalesce.
Yeah, he's convalescing.
Yeah.
I want you to know that
G-Man is convalescing.
I was talking with some people today about, obviously we saw our former coach Kim Stefanski get his presser, and just what a great color palette you get to work with when you're there with the Atlanta Falcons, and then their uniform closet, if they do it right, which they're
It seems like they're
doing it.
I think they're doing
it
it right. I think they're going to have the red hat, and they're going to do the.
Well, I think you're going to get a combination of the Bartkowski, Gerald Riggses, and then the Jeff Georges. I think you're going to have the black hat, and you'll have the red hat, and you're just going to have
the
pure
Dion's
joy.
as well. At least he can share.
Just so you know that when I shared with
Coach
somebody
Grimes.
today, when I said those out loud, when I said that the Jeff Georges, I said they're commonly referred to as the Dion's.
Okay, fair.
I
Yeah.
recognize them as the Jeff Georges.
Yeah. Yeah. What is old is new again, and also undefeated. It's pretty good deal.
Sometimes you just nail it. Like at some point in your history, you've nailed it, and they've
That's
nailed
what's
it.
so good about when we went back to the traditional look. Like it was a modern take on a classic look, but that's what the Cleveland Browns should look like.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's,
and they look good.
And they look good, and that's the deal. And so, yeah, you don't if you had and that's a cheat code. They have black, silver, red for crying out loud, and they have a falcon as the mascot. Like there's a lot you can do with that. And they've done it well a bunch. Just this most recent, over the last 25 years, they've failed a little bit. So how was Kevin that? Did he have his presser today?
Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He did. He came right out and said, Tommy Reese will call plays.
Yeah, right, right out of the gate.
That's something we're still working through.
So it was a question. It was literally like the fifth question. I'm like, well, we're back.
He just answered it, though. That's a new one. That's good.
Yep. Took care of business today. Had about a 45-minute presser.
I'll tell you, he was not a popular hire for the folks I talked to. I got several buddies that are down there that basically if you were somewhere other than South Florida and you're a man in your 40s, you like the Falcons.
Yeah.
Because the Tampa Bay Bucks were nothing. Yeah. There were no Jaguars. So, like, if you're from South Florida, you like Miami. But if you're like North Florida and then basically the rest of the South, you grew up a Falcons fan.
For sure.
Was the operation. And that wasn't met with a chorus of applause. Kevin's hire down there, but I think he'll do well, and I think that the talent on offense really fits quite well with what he is going to want to do. I would think.
And Matty Ice seemed pretty fired up. They all seem they fired up. Kevin was a little loose. They tried to get him on the bake, and he said that rivalries are great. Love rivalries, and I have a lot of respect for him as
our
person
great
and a
friend
player.
and the man who literally
D'Orlando.
started the whole thing was D'Orlando.
Yeah, he's
And
like, sorry, I
D'Orlando's
got you a little trouble there.
He's like, my name is. I didn't say it earlier because he had the first question.
Of course,
he's
he did.
always
Yeah.
the first
Yeah,
question. Coach, I didn't introduce myself earlier. I'm D'Orlando Ledbetter. I'm the guy that got you in trouble with your former quarterback.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
All right. We didn't get a chance to get to this yesterday. We're going to get to it coming up next. The best broadcast calls from Conference Championship Weekend. We'll do the AFC and the NFC, and we are on coaching search lookout. Could happen at any moment. Keep it locked here. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, NFL Championship weekend was on Sunday. One classic game, another competitive one, just not aesthetically pleasing. It ends with the Patriots and the Seahawks. Can you imagine the odds on that? Like in February of last year?
Oh, yeah. Astronomical.
We didn't talk about this yesterday.
Jeez.
What?
The Armando Salguero tweet.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan, do you have that picture we talked about yesterday? The NFL photo that got posted at the beginning of the year with the league? And who are the first two? First two?
So it's everybody in the league is on the cartoon. They're all staring at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. And the two that are closest to the stadium, now they're not closest to the frame. The closest to the frame are like
Lamar,
all the A-list guys, Lamar and Allen and Mahomes and all that. But way in the back, but actually front, is Darnold and May.
Yeah, side by side.
Pretty wild.
It is pretty wild.
Yeah. So now at the same time, I can't really trust it because I routinely get sent Instagram videos from my kids of something that they think is real and is clearly not. And no one knows the difference of what is or what's not.
I mean, Armando got out of the pool to tweet it. So I thought it might be possible.
I did too, and I retweeted it, and I thought there's a lot going on there. It's funny though. Actually, I showed my 14-year-old. He's like, Dad, that can easily be photoshopped, and I'm like, okay, maybe it, but I don't know. I don't know what's real and what's not.
How about the 14-year-old correcting you? By the way, how long have they been home? Like a month?
I don't know. They want.
Are they
more
going
time.
back tomorrow?
They went skiing today.
I don't see how when you set the precedent that you don't have to go to school today, like that they're going to go to school again.
Like all week?
Yeah.
Which is what they would want. Like they would just want to not.
My kids are at the point, and they're in high school where they're like, we'd like to go back to
There's
school.
only so much staring at a phone. Like at some point you got to go do something. You can't go outside. Although I will, like the blonde took him skiing today, which is good. So that was good.
I think it's awful. Like
And
this
it's
morning
cold,
was
but
really,
it's
really
Not
bad.
dick.
I just think
You
like
wear a jacket.
all right,
How much are you
let's
outside?
just do this. Let's just do this for a couple minutes.
I like this. I like where we're going.
How do they do it in Winnipeg?
Right.
How do they do it in
Manitoba.
Edmonton?
Yes.
Like in Edmonton, Alberta, where it is routinely air temp negative, how do they do it? And I, like my upbringing was very it was rural. So like we never canceled school unless it was a whiteout blizzard, never for temp, ever for temperature. It was only whiteout blizzard. Now, but it's rural, and so there weren't – now kids had to wait at bus stops. I mean, the bus would go 30 miles in each direction from town to go pick kids up. But, they would – so they had to wait for buses. So, there was some of that. But how do they do it in cold, frozen climates? Like if you go to Anchorage High, they're not closing school because it's cold. So what are they doing?
This is my point, though.
What
Just
is
like
our
you were talking about.
Why can't we handle it?
This is what
I don't know.
understand.
I don't. Maybe there's a very logical answer.
I don't
to
think
it.
that there is. I think you're exactly right. You talked about how your kids don't wear coats.
Yeah.
The reality is you take the kids to school, they walk into the school, then they don't have to go outside of the school again until they walk back into your car. Like they're not outside.
Well, that you hit on something very important.
What do we do? So who cares?
I don't remember ever as a middle school kid, certainly, or even as a high schooler, where I did not. Now, high school is probably a little different because you at that point you care a little bit more about your appearance, and so I would I would have hair done and stuff like that, so I wouldn't wear a hat to school. But I don't remember ever going to school without a winter coat and gloves, and oftentimes I'd have boots at the time I had a pickup, and I would have the boots in the pickup in case something happened.
Yeah.
There was always that in my head, like if something breaks down and you have to walk. Be prepared for it. So there was always matches and blankets and that type of stuff just in case.
Like Nana. Nana's got a
big
old get ready bag.
Yeah, now I'm sure they would just ping somebody or I don't know what you would do. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's part of it. Maybe just kids don't bundle up in the traditional sense the way that we did. I don't know.
My one buddy just texted me, and he routinely has work in Toronto. Mm-hmm. And he said he was out with some clients who mocked and laughed at him all night when he was like, yeah, my kids don't have school. It's 15 degrees. They were like, what are you doing?
15 degrees in Toronto is April.
Yeah. Gets to 30, we're in shorts, kids.
Yeah. So I don't know. The only thing that I will say positive, here's a positive.
My guess is just bus stops. It's got to be based on bus stops.
It has to be.
We are fortunate. We're talking like every kid is able to be dropped off and walk into school, and that's probably not the reality. But like then you got to bundle up. I mean, I just think it's.
But they have bus stops in Edmonton.
Yeah, you got to learn, right? They have kids going on
bus stops in Anchorage. Like kids are waiting at bus stops.
Maybe they're all ensconced in fur up there. I don't know.
I know.
I know how warm my hat is. That one hat, like that is my hat. You couldn't be cold in that hat.
This sucker's warm, I'll tell you that. I was out there doing some yeoman's work in between shows.
Nope. I saw you out there with your...
I was doing some real work.
Yeah.
Bootsy wore the hat that goes with that while building snow forts.
Of course he did.
I go, dude, you got 66 hats.
It's like, but I want your hat, Dad.
Of course you do. Why not?
It's like I only, I think, drink Miss K's water. I never have my own glass of water. I always have her water.
Always have
she
hers?
has this big Stanley.
What do I need
two
for
people? What do I need?
Plenty.
It's always cold.
It's always cold. It's
perfect.
Go.
Yeah, my favorite water is somebody else's. It's like a boat. It's your favorite boat. Somebody else's.
That's the right answer there. You don't ever want to own one. But anyway, here's one thing that I do like with the modernization of weather and how we view it. I like that we're now using real feel versus wind chill. Used to always be wind chill, which was just stupid. It's just dumb. Wind chill. Real feel. What does it feel like? 15 below. Simple. I got it. And by the way, if it feels like it's 15 below, isn't that what it is?
Yes. Yeah,
For all of us? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's 2, but it feels 20 below.
No,
then I think it's 20 below.
I can tell you in Chicago, it was 20 below.
It's 20
might
below.
not have been that.
That was
on the
generous.
temperature. That was
I
20
was
below.
standing next to 2 of those jet engine heaters that you're not supposed to be within 5 feet of. I was 5 inches from them and couldn't even feel it. Nothing melted. Halftime, I was still cold.
Couldn't do it. It's crazy.
No.
Yeah. Real feel. All right. Some championship game calls from this weekend. Let's start in the AFC. Here is Drake May's touchdown run via 98.5, the Sports Hub in Boston. Our good buddy Bob Sochi and former quarterback Scott Zolak on the call.
Stevenson to the right of May. Drake points with his right hand to set the protections. Takes the snap. He stands in. Quarterback draw. Across the 5. Across the goal line right. Touchdown! Patriots!
I tell you, that's the way you have it. That guy right there, Drake May. They ran it against Buffalo. I recognize the formation. He's got him in man. They split. He reads man, and the tide has turned. Patriots are back in this thing. What a call, Josh McDaniels. They didn't have a chance at it.
All right, hold on. Can we run that again, please?
You only need the first 15 seconds.
Yeah, give me the first 15 seconds. Yeah.
Stevenson to the right of May. Drake points with his right hand to set the protections. Takes the snap. He stands in. Quarterback draw. Across the 5. Across the goal line right. Touchdown! Patriots!
I tell you.
That's good.
That's good, Carm.
All right.
Well, I don't know if I like where this is going. What's going on in your brain right now?
I want to get your take on what just on those first 15 seconds. I want to hear the Jason Gibbay breakdown of those first 15 seconds.
I think it plays well if you're watching it. Or if he says, watch for the QB draw before they break the huddle and as they're lining
Well,
up.
he can't say it before they break the huddle because he needed the motion to tell him it was a man, and then he knew from that formation that it was going to be a quarterback draw.
Okay, but then you got to get out of the way.
Well, he said it 3 times.
Well, that's
so there are.
You say it once and you get out of the way.
There are. It's funny because I've thought about situations like this that have come up where I, as you know, like
Yes.
I either make gestures or whatever where I know what's about to happen, but I never say it. I thought that was pretty funny with it. He actually said it, which is cool. And you're like, all right, the guy knows what he's talking about. Now I thought in the analysis of it, he told you exactly why he knew it was quarterback draw, which I thought was really, really good. I love Zolak because I like listening to his because then he can never yell at me.
That's
Zolak
Zolak sounds like he's doing a WWE promo, like old school.
And sometimes
like there's a little macho man to it. Like he's hoarse, he's screaming.
Oh yeah,
He changes his voice.
he does.
He sometimes sounds like
like
he's
a
doing.
promo.
So Joey Styles used to be the voice of ECW, and he would do it. He was a one-man commentator. He did both the play-by-play and he was just the commentator. Yeah, Joey Styles did all the ECW shows by himself.
That's incredible.
I got a chance to meet him and become friends with him. He's an awesome dude.
That's a lot of
But
talent.
a lot of talent. Yeah, Zolak. I feel like sometimes he wants these like Hit the bricks,
Hit the
Bob.
bricks,
Let
Bob.
me just go ahead and let me just run this show
Let me
here
cook.
for you. Let me cook. Yeah, that was really good.
Let's see what he does on this one. This is Drake May's game-clinching.
I hope he screams naked, naked.
He might. Game-clinching first down run via the Sports Hub.
3rd and 7 with a 10-7 lead from New England's 39-yard line. Out of the eye. Fake by May. He's going to run it to the left. He's being chased. Tries to get outside. He does! He's got the first down! Running to the far side. Outlegging the chasing defender, Jonah Ellis. And Drake May and the Patriots fake the handoff to Stevenson, the quarterback. The naked bootleg out to the left has a first down that should allow the Patriots to clinch it.
Unbelievable. Hey, America, we're back. The worst nightmare has returned. When you thought the team was down, the organization is down. Mike Vrabel and his staff and your 23-year-old quarterback, who should be the MVP, are going to Super Bowl 60.
All right, that was great.
You know,
Sochi was a little subdued for them clinching the
organization,
going to a Super Bowl.
He was a little bit. If you were to say, like, what Scott Zolak sounds like is not what he looks like. To me. I know what he looks like.
Yep.
But even listening to it, it doesn't really match up to me what he looks like.
No, agreed. Yeah.
And so, yeah, excitement pretty palpable on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
wonder
love
if
it.
Bob was just shocked. I wonder if he's like doing the math, like, oh, that just happened.
Yeah, I think that's what.
Like, oh, there's not enough. They can't stop it. They can't do it. They can't do all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that'll be a conversation for next week, like how they flipped that thing so quickly. It's pretty remarkable.
Here's a great Scott Zolak story. You ready for this?
Sure.
Zolak was born on December 13th, 1967 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. As a child, he was the water boy for the football team at Ringgold High School in Monongalia, Pennsylvania, where his father, Paul, worked as the head coach and athletic director. The starting quarterback for that team was future NFL Hall of Famer Joe Montana.
Oh, wow.
Montana gave young Zolak a football, which he later rubbed for good luck before every game. When Zolak attended Ringgold High School himself, he was the team's starting quarterback and punter and lettered 4 times. How about that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he sounds like. Yeah, he definitely does not. He looks a clean cut. He's obviously he's a quarterback, a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
He sounds like he should have like gruffy beard, a cigar hanging, maybe a big mustache. He could have a huge mustache.
So,
a Deerdorf.
To me,
or
like
Pedro.
he sounds like one of those guys that would be in DeBear's skit on
DeBear's.
SNL.
Yeah, big mustache.
Like one of
Yeah, I
those
think it's a
guys is what it
mustache.
looks
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to me.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
what he would. That's what he should sound like.
Yeah.
All right, let's head to the NFC Championship game. Let's start with Seattle Sports 7-10. This is the Jackson Smith and Jigba touchdown before the end of the first half, giving the Seahawks the lead, as it turned out, for good.
Sam out of the shotgun. Looks, steps, throws, back corner, touchdown, Seahawks! JSN on the left side, wide open. And you love to see defensive backs stop and look at each other and say, who the hell was supposed to cover him? He was wide open from 14 out, and the Seahawks retake the lead 16-13.
Well, we didn't get to the analysis there, but you would find out if that guy played Madden in a hurry right there, because what they ran right there was red zone scissors, and they used JSN as the back in that red zone scissors concept, and it completely befuddled the Rams right there. He could not have been any more open.
Do you know how many games Jackson Smith and Jigba played his final year at Ohio State?
I believe he sat out quite a bit with a hamstring injury, so my guess is going to be somewhere 6?
4.
3.
He had 5 catches, I want to say, or 6.
He
Basically
had
played
the
the
Monster Rose Bowl.
Yeah,
And then,
he had 1,800 yards as a sophomore, and then so it was supposed to be him and Marv in 2022. It's one of the big what ifs, because if he's healthy and plays, and they have Marv doing what he did in 2022, and JSN and CJ Stroud, now you're cooking with gas.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was a big one, the loss of him, and then that was the year they lost to Georgia in the national semifinal on the field goal at the buzzer, where Marv got bounced in the second half of that game with the targeting.
He got concussed, right?
He got concussed and missed it, and a targeting that wasn't a targeting.
Correct.
That's a massive what if, that one. All right, here is back to Seattle Sports 7-10. Here's the Rams on the muffed punt return that really flipped it.
Man.
4th down and 20. Snap is back. Dixon hits a high but relatively short punt. Xavier Smith now stumbling, retreating. He muffed it for the second time today. And the Seahawks take over at the 17-yard line. Smith stumbled backward, made contact with the football, and gives the Seahawks a gift.
So he sounds different than the guy who called the JSN touchdown.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I noticed that too.
I'm like, do they got multiple people on that crew?
I mean, that they used to do that in baseball. Like they still do that in baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way they'd have multiple
I
people.
wouldn't think. Maybe you have two guys who can do it.
I do. Or maybe he was just a guy. He was pretty amped right there.
He was, yeah. It was a big play. Here is the 4th down stop in the 4th quarter. This is the final call on Westwood 1 by our guy, Kevin Harlan.
4th and 4, down by 4. Shotgun snap, 4-man rush. Stafford winds up, throws back in the end zone, incomplete. Underneath, looking for Ferguson. Witherspoon broke it up. On down, Seattle will get it back. They've held. The Seahawk defense has held. 7 defensive backs, 10 seconds to go. Rams at their 30, down by 4. Shotgun snap to Stafford. Sets in the pocket. Plenty of time. Winds up. Throws to the near sideline. Caught. 50-yard line and out of bounds. Nakua. The clock at 1. Oh, to keep the clock going. It's over. It's over. Seattle has won. The Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl. It's their first trip to the Super Bowl in 11 years. It's a rematch with the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. They win tonight over the Rams, 31-27.
Is there anything worse, do you think, like for the Niners to have, like, they hate the Seahawks?
Oh, God, dude.
To have them playing for the Super Bowl in your building and probably
winning it?
Most likely winning it in your building. Yeah, that's kind of sick. I want to go back to that Kevin Harlan call, which was excellent on the 4th down stop in the 4th quarter. And that was such an interesting chess match play because the Seahawks were showing all-out blitz. Mm-hmm. Everybody was at the line of scrimmage, all-out blitz. McVay saw it, runs down like he's going to take a timeout, doesn't. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, I'm like, and he's probably thinking, I should have called the timeout. Whereas I remember Jim Harbaugh called a timeout that cost the 49ers a Super Bowl against the Ravens. They did not call that timeout. It was a read option. Kaepernick kept it and would have scored.
Yep.
And instead they end up losing that Super Bowl. And those are kind of be some of those what ifs. And you wonder if he was he thinking about Jim Harbaugh? He knows every play ever, like running down like that. No, let's let him go. And then the Seahawks actually only rushed 2 and dropped 9 into coverage, and there was just nowhere to go with the football.
He was a rough last 5 minutes for McVay. Of that game. And, I was thinking about this. It jumped in my head. I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but on the Harlan when he's describing like the Nakua one, initially as I was watching it live, I thought he got out of bounds. Like I thought he got out of bounds.
In real speed.
In real speed, I was like, holy cow. And the referee's like winding it. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Holy cow, you're winding that? Well, then the game over. Like I thought he got out of bounds. But I suppose in that instance, you roll it, and then you can always put time back on. You can't run time off. So in that instance, like I guess that's probably follow the right procedure where you let the clock run, and then if we go back on replay, guys, they had that thing sorted out in about 12 seconds. Because they did look at it.
Yeah.
And they had it,
and
they had it sorted.
Right.
They did. But they had it sorted in 12 seconds, which brings us back to the cup play under 3 minutes.
Not even
that could have been sorted in 12 seconts. That could have been. And it should have been.
It should have been, and it should have been well explained and all of that. And I do think that it's funny that you've got, Terry McCauley's doing what is a catch videos. And by the way, if you need to do videos to try to explain to people what a catch is, then the rule is silly and absurd anyway. Catches, if most people sitting at the bar think it's a catch, it's a catch.
I can't stand the idea of you must make a football play to the ground and all of that. Catch the ball, 2 feet, the end.
We're talking about okay. Yes. By the way, what about if you catch the ball in the end zone? If this is my phone is the end zone, okay? And here's the out of the end zone to go in the field play. You catch the ball standing here and fall to your right. So you're catching it and you fall forward. That's a touchdown.
Yeah.
But if you're in the back of the end zone, you jump up, catch it with your toes in, and then your heels come down. That's out of bounds.
That's out of bounds, yeah.
But you have the ball in possession in the end zone with your toes in the end zone.
Well, I also have a huge problem with if you catch the ball at the 1 yard line and you touch the nose to the end zone, it's a touchdown. But if you catch the ball in the back of the end zone with 2 feet down, but somehow you don't get to the ground without the ball moving, that's not a touchdown.
Absolutely.
That's insanity.
Yep.
I do this, that's a touchdown, but I catch it with 2 feet and then I get bombed. And then, or even if I don't, and the ball jostles.
Like the Isaiah Likely one earlier this year.
Absolutely. Now that's not a touchdown.
No, that's a touchdown.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Have consistency of what it is. Like this, they got to get that sorted.
They have to get sorted because
It's a real mess.
Too much money. By the way, Jacksonville just announced 3 minutes ago that offensive coordinator Grant Udinsky and defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile have agreed to terms to remain in Jacksonville for the 2026 season. Udinsky was set to return pending the Bills' head coaching job. He pulled out of our coaching search after interviewing here twice. And the Arizona Cardinals were Campanile was a finalist for their job. He is now staying there, but everybody thinks it feels like it's a foregone conclusion. Mike LaFleur is going to be the next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals.
All right, there you go. Could be a very interesting last hour of the program.
Do you guys want to hear from McVay on Matt Stafford after the game, by the way?
Oh, I'm sorry.
This was his press conference ender. This ended the press conference.
This got a little
Okay, yeah,
chippy.
go ahead.
Do you expect Matthew Stafford to be back next season?
Yeah, if he still wants to play, what the hell kind of question is that?
Want to play?
You have to ask him. We've been totally present. He's the MVP of the league, and if he's not, I got respect for everybody else, but this guy played at a level that's just different. I appreciate you guys this year. Thank you.
And he just walked up.
That was it. Yeah.
What do you is that a fair question then, or is that something you ask Monday?
That's a Monday.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
I think that's a Monday.
Where this is game day.
It's too emotional. I mean,
Yep.
Stafford played 2 perfect games against Seattle, and he lost them both.
Yep.
So, yeah, I know. I'm sure McVay feels like he let him down. I'm sure there's some of that. You can't.
Yeah.
We went over the stats he had in those games. All right, final hour of the program coming up next. We'll keep an eye on all the coaching news. There is quite a bit of little action around the NFL. You mentioned Udinsky and some of the stuff happening down in Jacksonville, so we will get you updated on all of that. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, second hour here, Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. It feels like you could have something at any point now on the coaching side of things. We've said that, though, since the beginning, just to kind of reset.
Because it was true then and it's true now.
It is. In terms of just where you are at this point, you really have to just lay the land out in terms of 4 candidates who are involved, decisions being made on those 4 candidates. And as Nathan and I talked about in the first hour, like, if it's the 3 that feel like they're getting the most juice, 3 very different choices. Todd Monken will turn 60 here shortly and is a longtime offensive coordinator. Z and I know him very well from his time here. Like him a lot. Really brilliant guy in Baltimore, was brilliant in Georgia as well. Obviously never coached at the NFL level. Jim Schwartz, approaching 60 as well, exact same age as Todd. Defensive mastermind and absolute culture tornado, and you saw that on the defensive side of things. And then the other one that's really in the middle of this thing is Nate Scheelhaase, and he is the anomaly of the bunch, even more so than the others, that he's a 35-year-old. He's been in the league for 2 years on the coaching side of things after a long tenure in college. Only called plays the 1 year at Iowa State, as far as I could tell, and is a guy who feels like in league circles is on the up and up. And so with those 3, then you're looking at all sorts of questions off of each one. Like, what does your staff look like? Who do you hire for this? What does this look like? So, like, all of those factors, I'm assuming, are being, contemplated as you get set to make this hire.
Absolutely. And I think, it's tough in the waiting game because we don't know the direction. I think Scheelhaase is the one that, a lot of people would get energized about, come highly recommended by the Rams organization, has been kind of at Sean McVay's right hip the last 2 years there, and is very well regarded. You mentioned he was a Division I quarterback, so he's got that natural leadership to him. He's young. He's innovative. It feels like he kind of would be one of those coaches that we've kind of seen go around the league and infuse some life into certain places. So we gonna get anything imminent? Anything imminent? Have we got anything? No.
Nothing.
All right. Well, apparently we don't know. And so I think he's exciting. I think a lot of people are excited about him. I think then you've got Todd Monken, who you just talked about, who's led many offenses in not only the NFL but in college, has been coaching for 37 years. Mm-hmm. And really, most recently, got the best out of Lamar Jackson that anybody's gotten out of Lamar Jackson in those 2 seasons prior to this past one. But, what is his style like? And we talked about it. It's direct. It's gruff. He's an excellent football mind, a guy that we loved having in. He would lean on this wall and hang with us in 2019. A great deal. So smart, well-respected. And, in fact, John Harbaugh thought so much of him that John Harbaugh's like, if he's going, I'm going.
Yeah, and continues to think so much of him that he's basically holding that offensive coordinator
He
position.
will be. If he is not the Browns head coach, he will be the offensive coordinator over there. Yes, you're exactly right. And then you've got Jim Schwartz, who has led arguably the best defense over the last 3 years in the league in terms of the consistency of that, and whose players love him, and who definitely has swagger, who's definitely got attitude and accountability and all of that. And so that's kind of where it feels like we're at right now. But again, he's on the defensive side. Who would be on the offensive side if you go with Jim Schwartz? I think the hope is if whether you go with Monken or if you go with Nate Scheelhaase, that Jim Schwartz would be on the defensive side, and that great staff of our good friends, Jacques Césaire, the great Tarv, B. Lynch, Coach Bonda, who had excellent DC interviews, not only with the Jets, but with the Dallas Cowboys. So you've got, Tarver's been a DC in the league before. I think Brandon Lynch will be a DC at some point. So you've got a lot of stars on that side of the ball. And I think all along we were going into it, and the hope was, pair this young, up-and-coming offensive mind with Jim Schwartz. And so that option is there, but obviously Todd Monken has made a great impression, and the proof is in the pudding, having to deal with him for a couple times a year the last 3 years in Baltimore. And so that's kind of where we sit right now. We had a big meeting that has nothing to do with coach hiring at all, but just got out. And so, you wonder.
Maybe that's why things are delayed.
Maybe things are delayed. Yeah.
Could be. The point on Schwartz is interesting, too, because I think if you go back to the beginning of this search, the common thought, or whether it was, obviously it wasn't correct, but I think a lot of people thought, well, if it is Schwartz who's elevated, Tommy could stay and be the offensive coordinator. Well, Tommy's going to call plays down in Atlanta. So if it's Jim, then you're going to have to hire an offensive staff. And that side of the ball is the one that has to be addressed in a big, big way this offseason. I mean, that has to be, quite honestly, you could you could go offense with every single pick, or you could just follow. I mean, the jeez.
Running a business. Let's go. Let's go. Yes.
By the way, everybody got to work from home yesterday. He was in here.
He's running a business.
He's running a business.
First person I saw when I walked in.
And a day like that would
some
be
Huskies?
a good. I was gonna say good catalog look day for him.
Oh,
yesterday.
very good catalog look for him. Yeah, lots of layering.
Have you seen his vehicle?
Well, I'm sure he's doing just fine.
Scoffed at that blizzard.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are the things, folks. Like, it's not just hiring a coach. It's all right. What's your staff going to look like?
Absolutely.
Who's going to do these jobs? Who do you want doing these jobs? And all of those factors are being considered. So we'll see where all of this goes, and hopefully we get
a couple of
something
things
good.
from the Cleveland area. One is there's a snow squall warning.
Snow squall warning.
Where is that?
Right, I think all around us, but right now I see no squall, which makes me happy. And then the Cavs just announced 56 seconds ago that Evan Mobley injured his left calf during last night's game against Orlando and will be out 1 to 3 weeks. Actually, I was at the game.
Did you go?
I did. Paulo, so fun to watch that guy.
Yeah, you like that guy.
I
He's your
love
guy.
Paulo.
He's kind of your NBA Jeff George. Well, Rex is your NBA Jeff George,
Yeah.
but he's your modern day.
Yeah, modern day for sure.
Yeah.
I think he went for like 35, an effortless 35.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan Mitchell's ridiculous.
Donovan Mitchell, I was just going to say, Don Mitchell is outstanding. I also want the Cavs to do whatever they have to do to make Paulo a Cav. I want to have Mitchell and Paulo together. That's impossible, you think?
Yeah, I do.
The Magic, I think if Wagner was healthy, they actually could be pretty tough. The guy that is holding their whole operation back is Jalen Suggs.
Yeah.
Paulo's good. Desmond Bane was a great addition because he can shoot it.
Yeah.
And then when they have Wagner, they got a legit big three. But, Wendell Carter's like a solid
Your
pro.
knowledge of the Orlando Magic is quite
You want to know what's
astonishing to me. Like, if you said to me, and I got kids who do basketball and all that stuff. If you were to say, can you name how many Orlando Magic can you name? The four you named are the four I would have gotten. I would have gotten Suggs. I would have gotten Ben Caro. I would have gotten Wagner, and I would have gotten.
Well, you get another Wagner for free. That's a bonus.
Yeah,
so you
double
could be five.
Wagners.
Double Wagner. Wendell Carter.
I wouldn't know.
Desmond Bane.
I don't know either of those cats.
Desmond Bane is like
whatever
20-point a game score. Desmond Bane's, they traded I think a 1, maybe 2 ones to get him from Utah.
I think anybody can score 20 in that league sometimes. Yeah. I mean, the average.
But yeah, Suggs was like 2 for 15 from the floor, and he everything he does looks good. He looks like a good athlete. He was the Gonzaga, right?
He hit the shot for Gonzaga. That's one of the great shots in NCAA tournament history. That sent him to the final. Yeah,
he can't make him anymore. He missed dunks. It was nuts. He was brutal.
What's his game?
He's a really good defender. He's the point guard, but he shoots a little too much for my like. Just give the ball to Paulo and watch
Let him
out.
cook.
Let him cook. Yeah, so you're saying there's my dream of Donovan Mitchell, Paulo.
I don't know enough about the
hookup.
NBA. I'm so detached from the NBA right now that I don't know. I did say this in regard to Donovan Mitchell.
He's awesome.
Because I do think some of the reason the NBA, we talked about this with Inside yesterday, I'm so appreciative of Donovan Mitchell because he plays a lot.
Every night.
And he plays his rear end off.
Oh, yeah.
Like you don't see him coast. Like, you're not entitled championships when you're a sports fan. Like you yearn for them, you try to acquire them, you try to win them. But if you're lucky enough to have superstars on your team, what I think you are entitled to is them being available and giving their all, certainly at home games all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And he does that.
And he's
a true superstar in that sense.
His ability to use his body, because he's wide, he's got very long arms. When he goes to the basket, he plays like he's 6'10" when he's near the basket, which he doesn't ever get to shot blocked. It's kind of incredible, and he's a good shooter. He's awesome. He was very fun to watch.
He's fun.
Yeah, but yeah, you're joking with me about Jamaica, but I like Paulo. I've always enjoyed watching Paulo, and when I started, the cook would take me to some of the play, and Zash, and we'd go to some of the playoff games, and we played the Magic every year in the playoffs for like 3 years in a row. And so I would see a lot of. I probably of the NBA games opponents I've seen against the Cavs, I've probably seen the Magic like 10 times in the last 3 years. So I kind of know their squad.
I'd say there's a decent chance
that he's going down to make some announcement, or that.
No, I just think something could be imminent. I mean that.
Well, that's yes, that is.
So. I have not
imminence.
I have not watched I can tell you, like this year, I've not watched a single NBA game from start to finish.
So I've seen 2, and I was at both.
You were
of them.
both, yeah, but you're not looking for it.
No,
yeah.
I don't have cable. I think you need cable to get that.
No, but even like if you wanted to, what's Luka up to, or what's this?
No
like
idea.
Now I'm going to watch the one tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll watch LeBron.
I'll watch that.
The Kings would have a pretty nice team. I feel like in the year 2018.
I don't even
They
know.
got like
I can't
Russ.
tell you who's on their
All right,
roster.
the Kings have Russ.
How do you know this?
Because I saw him on Friday.
Oh, that's right.
Dude, you're having the conversation. I'm like, wait a second. The Kings have Russ? Wait a second. The Kings have DeMar DeRozan? Like what? What are we talking about?
They got like a nice 2012 team.
Yeah, so they got Russ, DeMar DeRozan, and then Sabonis had been injured, but he came back from injury and played well. They actually that was another good game. Those two fun games to be.
That might be one of the most, because that is a great fan base, and they built them a new arena, and it's a one-horse town in Sacramento.
Oh yeah,
and it feels like they let Halliburton go. Halliburton
was there. So they have their leading scorers. Their top 4. They've got, I was like, wait, they have this guy? Wait, they have this guay? So they got Zach LaVine, who's averaging 19 and a half a game. DeMar DeRozan's averaging 19. Sabonis is averaging 16 and 9 and 12. Russ is averaging 15, 6 boards, and 7 assists still at age a billion. They got Dennis Schroeder and Malik Monk. So it was like all these guys, like I know it all. I've seen all these guys.
It proves your point. You could score 20 points a night in the league.
You can.
Yeah. Well, there's no defense.
There's no defense.
Yeah.
Your turn to score, my turn to score.
I think the guys are pretty good shooters now, too. I feel like they're just better.
That's the biggest change.
They can all shoot the basketball.
The biggest change in the sport is Steph. I mean, he's the most revolutionary player in NBA, probably since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the dunk back in the 60s and 70s when the NCAA banned the dunk because of Kareem.
Because he was too good.
Lou
Alcindor.
I think at the time he was Lou Alcindor, and I think the same thing with Steph. Like Steph's ability to shoot it, and then kids that show up. I mean, we're at the point, I was having this conversation with my buddy who we coached the 6th grade team with, and we're like, we're at a point now, and if you don't have more threes than the team you're coaching in 6th grade, you lose.
Yeah.
You can't win because kids are going to hit. You're going to have, even at 6th grade level, 2 18-minute running clocks, you're going to hit 6 to 8 threes. The winning team's going to hit 6 to 8 threes.
It wasn't even a thing.
You can even shoot them.
Yeah, it wasn't even a thing.
Their coaches wouldn't even let you shoot them.
By the way,
everybody can shoot
that
'em.
Kings team is
Oh, baby. That's a rare
squall warning until 5:15.
A non-silenced phone out of you.
My phone is silenced,
and it just supersedes.
No, that was Dr. J.
That's critical.
Oh, that's in here.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
you got that.
Threats.
What is going on?
Where I got snow
mine's
squall warnings,
silent.
emergency alerts, national warning. They're blowing me up.
So mine is.
We're trying to get a coach. Stay off the
mine's on
screen, National
vibrate, so
Weather
I don't
Service.
even.
So's mine. I'm on silent.
Yeah, but I just got the same thing you got, and it didn't go off.
Well, they're
I
saying,
got the same thing. It didn't go off.
Didn't go off. So there's something.
What is this snow squall? Where?
I don't know.
is the
We got to
snow
get out of here.
know.
Next level's next. I'll see you tomorrow.
Let's announce the coach and let's go.
North Central.
Gibby, you
Northeast?
got it from here.
Okay.
You got your Huskies. You're
All
10
right.
minutes away.
Here
I'll
we
see
go.
you.
Yeah, you're 10 minutes away.
Best of
We are
luck.
not.
This is what's going on.
If I get stuck on the
Because I go,
turnpike.
where is this at? Portions of North Central, Northeast, Northwest Ohio, and Northwest Pennsylvania. I think you've covered the
It's a
entire
whole
state by doing
It's
that.
going to be in a squall?
What are you
Till
talking about?
5:15? What's going on here? Good Lord.
Oh, it's like a line. It's like a storm line.
All right, let me get the
What does that mean?
AccuWeather.
Yeah,
I'm looking at
AccuWeather 71.2.
No, I know. That's what I got.
Pull it up on
Snow
your
squall
radar.
warning.
It looks like in the summer when you see like a line of like red and yellow, and you're like, oh, the end of the world's coming.
So it starts now and it goes to 5:15. So it's short. All right, I'm gonna need some radar on this.
Yeah.
Let me get a nice little radar.
I've never gotten a notification for a snow squall warning.
That's why I said squall earlier, remember?
Yeah,
I was
I
dialed
didn't
in.
know
dude.
where.
Doesn't your buddy Coach Illyria give him a text? Say what's going on out there? 'Cause
Lyric, what's going on?
Lyric, your kids are hella shooters.
We need to put on robes. I think people are leaving.
go.
I
I
think
think
they're trying
people
to beat the squall.
That's what
They're
you're
going
looking
to
at.
the bar. They bribe them.
No, those look
So
like
it looks like it's in Illyria
those
right
look
now.
like squall people.
Looks like it's in Illyria. So
Look, it's like a giant line.
it is, I know. So it looks like it's going to be right at us at 5 to 5. And then you and I are just going to be sprinting. I'm going to tell you right now we're stacking at 53, Gibby.
I don't care.
That's what we're
Yep.
That's what we're
fine.
doing. And then it's a sprint. I'm going to be ahead of that
You want
thing.
a combo 3 breaks?
You know
I'll
that?
probably do
Yeah,
that.
put them all together. Let's close this thing now. It's going to be like in Twister when you're like trying to outrun it.
Outrun it.
That's going to be
Yeah,
me
you
on
did
80.
it. Was it last
Look at
week
these
or the
people
week
are
before?
gone.
That's what I'm saying. They're
leaving.
They're beating
They
the
are
squall.
going to the bar. There is a
beating the
happy
squall,
hour that
Gibby.
starts at 4:30.
They're
That's-
squall beaters.
No,
squall
that's how they
beaters.
get everybody to the UBS meeting. By the way, there's a happy hour right
Happy
after.
hour after?
Yeah.
Well,
They're
be
all
careful
going to
out there.
happy hour.
They're squalling.
Squall
Now, I don't know
beaters.
where that happy hour is. If it's on my side of town, I'd like a cocktail at 5.
If you went there, if you went to this happy hour and they
I've
said
gone to 'em.
if you can't have a beer, what is your cocktail of choice? Like 5 o'clock, I know is aggressive for cocktailing, unless it's going to lead into a meal. But
Could
like
go for a nice margarita.
little Margaritaville.
I could do depending on what the night looked like and what the next day looked like, maybe a nice Jack and Coke.
Oh, baby. All right.
I didn't
know if you had a go-to. I know you go for a beer,
don't.
but I didn't know if you had a go-to cocktail.
Tequila.
I like a
Oh
little
boy!
vodka
Now I'm getting reports. Now the squall. I got people saying it's intense east of town.
It's not even to the east side. Look
No,
at
it's
the
in
radar.
Elyria.
That's a different squall.
No, it's the same squall.
It's not.
I'm on the radar. You want to look at it? Look.
All right. Look.
I'm at it, bud. We're on it.
No. Like
I got people tweeting out Michael Keefe. Holy freaking snow squall! This is intense.
Yeah, I mean it's happening. Yeah, and then it's oh baby.
it's biased by 520.
I know, Gibbe, but
we're going to
have to be ahead of it.
Moving.
I mean, it's happening.
Well, those
It
of us
is
that are here
happening.
from 9 to 5:30 every day.
Well, there you go.
There it
That's-
is.
That's a
There
choice.
it
That's
is.
a
No,
choice.
I'm just there. I don't think that's a choice. I believe
It's a
I
choice.
believe the person running the business.
Everything in
makes
life
that
is a
decision,
choice.
and
Everything in life's a choice.
They've made that decision very apparent.
Everything in life's a choice,
9 to
Gibbe. It's all
5:30.
choices.
That's right.
We're all making choices. All right, we will. If something happens on the
I'd like
coaching
us
front,
to make a choice.
well, we're gonna triple stack at the end. Triple stack onto a double stack.
Let's just keep going.
What's that
Let's not
from?
break anymore.
Did you just
No,
triple
we
stack
still
a double
have
stack?
4 breaks to get.
Perfect. 4 at the end. We'll be out here at 4:45.
We can't do
4:40.
We'll
and then
beat the squall.
25-minute break.
4:40. We beat the
Yeah,
squall.
the next
That's
level.
what happens when we don't have a coach.
Our pets' heads are falling off. All right, we'll do a little Jeremiah mock draft. We'll also keep an eye on if there is something happening on the coaching side of things.
Young G-Man convalescing says BZG says beat the squall. Yes, G-Man.
Beat the squall.
Young Gabriel.
He's laying in his
Convalescing.
bed in his
Convalescing.
parents' house.
Convalescing. He's trying to get right.
All right.
You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Score big with Howard Hanna, official real estate partner of your Cleveland Browns, Northeast Ohio's #1 real estate provider, dedicated to helping you make the best move. Visit howardhanna.com/go Browns to explore your winning options today. We have a great Raven, Chris. He's out in Elyria at his Verizon store, Chestnut Commons, sent a video of the squall. I only have one reply to Chris. I mean, he's boots on the ground. You clearly have to beat the squall is my reply, and Gibby is endangering us all.
Okay.
Just hang out here with me.
Let's appeal to your
There's no humanity.
humanity.
There's no humanity. Look, everyone's leaving. The
Yes,
whole
they're-
building's
the
going
whole
to
building
the
is beating
bar.
the squall.
There's no happy hour.
They're
It's
beating the
canceled.
squall.
They're not
Happy hour
beating a
canceled.
squall.
Happy hour canceled.
Squall
I'm telling
beating.
you, they're going to the bar.
Got to go to the squall party. You
They're
got to get out of
saying-
here.
Whatever you do, don't get caught in that squall.
You remember in your days when you were chasing down tornadoes? Buddy, that's where we're at.
That's where we're at.
This is a
the
tornado-level squall
The
coming
more
at
you
us.
fight it,
This is a Category
You
6
can't
squall.
even say it without
Look at-
laughing.
Victoria's
And all you're doing is working him in. You're working him into a shoot. Like he's.
People are taking cover of the building.
Yes,
There are
they
people.
go.
They're in the bathrooms.
Yeah, because
to a
that's the
place
safest
without
place.
windows.
No windows. New studio. Going to be
Yeah.
very safe.
Very safe.
People are. I don't even think Scandinavians are comfortable right now
They're
with
gone.
this squall. Look, out.
We're bundled up.
Squall-
We're
yeah,
everyone's
already
trying to get out.
wearing-
We're trying to get out of here.
Yeah,
By the way,
It's possible that Swag had a chopper come scoop
feels
him
like
up.
there could be some ski
well, I
slopes.
think that's totally in play. Again, his mode of transportation.
I'd be very
fine.
careful
He'll
in a
be
squall.
fine. He'll be
though.
pulling me out of a ditch.
Oh, boy.
By the way,
Yeah.
a couple notes.
Yep.
Today, the city of Tampa officially announced today is
Tampa.
Gene Deckeroff Day.
Oh,
37 years for the play-by-play voice of the Tampa Bay
My man.
Buccaneers.
That's awesome.
Just hanging
my
it
man.
up.
I wonder if he still lives on that same. He lived 2 blocks down from me when I lived in Tallahassee.
I can only imagine what that was like. Unfettered Bo, unfettered Gene Deckeroff.
Oh, God.
Pete
I mean, if-
Powers of everything.
there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
I bet.
He was a prince. That's great. That is very, very cool to see.
The second question I have for you both.
Mm-hmm.
How is Aaron Glenn still employed as the head coach of the New York
So
Jets?
tell the people what's all happened because apparently everyone's
He's fired
gone.
his entire staff.
The entire staff's gone.
The Jets. This is from Rich Cimini, our good friend.
Yeah.
He fired his
Squall
offensive
beaters.
coordinator this afternoon. The Jets have vacancies at OC, DC, pass game coordinator, quarterbacks coach, D-line, linebackers, assistant defensive back, and 2 defensive assistants.
So there wasn't one good one.
After 1 year,
That's what I'm saying. So
Come
the
on,
staff he put
man.
together, he didn't have one good coach that he liked.
Not one.
Not one. By the way, Bobby says that this has now been upgraded to a Category 7 squall. Cat 7. He said we've got to beat the squall.
Cat 7
Bobby, it
squall.
doesn't exist.
Cat 7 squall, Gibbon.
I've heard.
It didn't
lot
used
of-
to exist.
I've talked to only the smartest people, and from what I
It
understand,
is a parade of squall beaters.
it is. I'm
taunting
texting with
us.
my meteorologist friends. I've got a great many of them. These are the
Yes.
smartest people in the world on this
Yep,
subject.
people are saying, yes.
And
Smart.
what these meteorologists are saying, people are saying that they're the smartest people on weather because they have degrees and such, and they have Doppler. And what they are telling me is that this is potential for this squall to lift your car off the road you're traveling.
Well,
That's what I'm
you're-
told.
The cars you drive, sure.
It's pretty
No,
heavy.
we
Those
have
batteries
very
are heavy.
cars, dude.
Yeah.
I'm getting my head warm.
Well, Dr. J and I will look forward to watching you blow away in your car.
Getting his head warm to prepare like
for
those
the squall.
robins you're dealing with the juniper bears.
Yes. They're
fattening
They are
up.
so fat. I don't know how they fly. They're the most obese robins. It's insane.
So
I've never seen anything like it.
you watched Succession and Billions, right? Both.
Succession.
You didn't watch Billions?
I didn't finish Billions.
I made a
Okay.
joke about that on a text chain this weekend.
Billions or Succession?
Yeah, you did, and it was not well received.
It was
Not well received?
No.
Okay, so
Gibbon was being mean and nasty and was called
I
on it.
wasn't.
okay, so you've seen Succession though, and
Yes.
did you see if you watch some of Billions, you probably remember
Billions
this.
is great.
Do you remember Succession's incredible? Do you remember when in both seasons they were eating that forbidden, like you ate that bird whole?
Yeah, that nasty bird.
But it was like prepared in a way, and it was like a high end, and like it was. But the
Okay.
whole thing was that
Was it a squab?
I think it was, and the whole deal was you ate the whole bird. You ate the bird whole, bones and all, and they fattened it up. And remember, they put like the blankets over their head so that nobody could see them eating it. Don't you remember all that? But they both did it. And as you were talking about those fat robins, I was thinking to myself, I wonder what that's all about, because that was the whole thing with those birds is they had to fatten them up, and then I don't think it's probably the most elegant finish, but that was what was that? Wasn't that it? You know what I'm talking about?
The ortolan is served in French cuisine, typically cooked and eaten whole. Traditionally, diners cover their heads with their napkin or a towel while eating the delicacy.
Too late.
Too late what?
Squall's here.
No, it's not here.
That's the outer reaches of the squall. I can see it.
Oh, man, that's high winds. Gibby.
It's too late.
Gibby, set us free.
Is there food in the building?
15 minutes, you'll be great. Yes.
The cafe here for
cafe. Well,
is it ready for dinner?
We need access to things.
I've got the great Jack Hay coming over for dinner tonight.
Sorry.
And the children.
What's for dinner?
It's going to be the three of us. See what Lavelle can cook up for us. He can cook anything. That guy, he can get things
Tell me
done.
about it. Some Indian barbecue chicken he made last night. It sounded
nothing
delightful.
he can't do.
Yeah.
Nothing he can't do. Anything he wants. It's Squall's here. So what's the deal with the ortolan thing? Like they fatten them up?
Fatten them up, and then you eat it with a towel over your head because people think it's gross.
What are you making for?
We're having a
matriarch.
sous vide flank steak. We're doing kind of like a balsamic flank steak salad with some arugula, some mushrooms,
that's nice.
some avocado, some onion, some tomatoes.
Squall's here. Look at it.
Well, now you're here, kids.
You're so happy.
I'm getting.
Who's cuddling up under that desk?
I'm getting my core ready to go.
Get your core warm.
Yeah, get your best. By the way, you don't have a coat. We just had a discussion.
That's true,
you got a life preserver on.
Look at Podes. Great Podes. He sees it. Look at the squall, Podes.
He doesn't care.
Man, that does look like a formidable squall.
Those are
By the way, I confirm they
total
all
silence.
left because there's a happy hour.
Hold on, total silence. Ready?
Doot, doot, doot.
Those winds are moving 48 miles an hour.
Wow. Be safe out there, kids, for all our tomfoolery. Yeah. Roads aren't great anyway. I mean, the main roads are pretty good, but some of those side streets are not great. That doesn't look ideal.
Did you like my wind my wind
I did
measurement
like how you did
technique?
that.
Yeah. It was just the interval of how quickly they were moving across the screen.
It reminded me of the, I don't know, I guess I just saw this. It reminded me of the pings in Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it was.
That's silly. It's
That's
like
exactly
ping,
what it
ping.
was.
One ping.
Yes.
That's kind of what it felt like a little bit. You know what we watched last night with the kids?
I don't.
How would you? So I was sick of them being on their phones and all of it. So I'm like, I'm taking the phones. We're doing family movie night. And I don't know how this movie popped into my head. My hunch is you guys have seen it, but it's possible that you didn't. So I remember like being surprised by this movie when I was a kid, like hating the idea of watching it and then watching it and being like, that was great. So it was Romancing the Stone. So have you seen this?
Oh, man, great movie.
Okay. So I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, but I remember it being an adventure and fun. So the first 10 minutes takes a little while to take off.
So Michael Douglas.
Yep.
Kathleen Turner.
Yep.
Oh,
DeVito.
Yeah. DeVito, yeah.
Colombians.
Yeah,
we're in the Colombian
jungles.
All of it. Uh-huh. Little Mule.
Are we looking for
is involved?
Are we
looking for the Jewel. We are looking for, as it turns out, a giant green emerald is what we're looking for,
right.
and it leads to this crazy adventure.
Yeah.
So we start to watch it, and immediately, like, there's a scene that's a little questionable for Bootsy, and it's like, what are we watching? And they're all complaining. I'm like, will you guys just shut up? I'm telling you, this is going to be good. So I took all the phones, and they're watching it, and like 45 minutes in, like I look at all of them, and they're all just like it's great. It's great. And it holds up.
Okay.
It was so great. And then afterwards, and may she continue to rest in peace, my late great mom. It occurred to me that I basically, with the exception of Basic Instinct, which thank God we didn't watch that as a family, I basically watched every Michael Douglas movie in the 80s, and it occurred to me that my mom must have had a massive crush on Michael Douglas.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think I saw every one of them.
Makes sense.
It's great, and it holds up. Really fun.
It is a very fun movie.
And here's the other thing: hour and 42 minutes. How great is that? Like I'm not in there for 2.5.
No,
it was nice.
That's what it should be.
That was very nice. Yeah, it was good. It was really good. So
Kathleen Turner back then.
Not at the beginning, but inevitably she gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the other thing that was pretty, I mean, obviously in those days, like there were no veneers. There wasn't hair restoration. There weren't all those things. You kind of just were what you were.
Yes.
At that point. And obviously she must have enjoyed a cigarette. I think that's fair, considering what happened to her voice as she aged, too. So, but yeah, she was great. Douglas was incredible. He's kind of like an Indiana Jones guy.
Yeah, it's an Indiana. It's right.
It's kind of has that vibe to it. It's kind of got an Indiana Jones adventure vibe to it. So it holds up very. That's Squall. That's perfect storm squall there, buddy. You go on Lake Erie right now.
Oh, wait, what is it? The day after tomorrow or whatever? What is that?
Yeah, that's where you can't see
is
our
the
parking
flag
lot
gonna
right
freeze?
now.
Like,
yeah.
Cuddle up, Nathan.
I'm going
That
out there.
is a massive squall. Well,
We're going to start a bonfire right in the middle. We're going to start with that table that's out there that we don't know what the point of it is.
Dude, Brown's Therapy, this may have topped it. Have you seen this?
No.
Please look at Brown's Therapy.
We
what
should
he
go to
just
break.
did. Not until I hear your reaction to seeing what Brown's Therapy just did. Then I'll go to break.
We're talking all.
This might be the
Let me
greatest.
take this from G-Man. Let me take this from G-Man. You ready?
Yep.
He said all this talk about Nate Shielhouse. Where's Nate Squallhouse? It's a good one, young Gabriel.
That's fantastic.
Have you seen the one of you as
I haven't. That's pretty
Yes,
good.
Buddy the Elf.
No. Oh,
better than that?
No.
hold on.
Borat?
Oh, yeah.
Gibby as Borat. Have you seen that?
No, I'm looking right now.
Yeah.
His most recent one?
That came 2 minutes ago?
I don't know. Maybe we'll have some news for you. Maybe we'll just survive the squall. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Well, I mean, the squall was pretty quick. I feel like it's done.
I think it's because I showed the
it
squall
might be in
my
Chagrin Falls
preparation.
by the time you leave.
I think I showed the squall my preparation and it said, I don't want any of that.
I think that
way,
that was pretty intense.
Yeah, no, that was pretty intense. Rappaport and Pelissero are on from the Senior Bowl right now, and they are literally holding microphones in one hand and their cell phones in another. Both of them on set, which is hilarious.
Like trying, just in case something happens? Is that what
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Are they monitoring Schefter's tweet?
Yeah, who's won that? Has Schefter won it? Schefter's won free agency from a breaking news standpoint?
I don't know.
My sense is it's him. Has he beaten Rappaport to most of this stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like he has. That he's been the one-man beat on that thing.
Yeah.
So, as it stands right now, here at 4:46, still no coaching hire here. The Titans have gotten a commitment. This just breaking from Jordan Schultz in the last 10 minutes. Brian Dable is the offensive coordinator. So a lot of people had reported that was coming, and now there is a commitment there. So now, with the exception of us, the Cardinals, and the Raiders,
that's right.
Everybody else is filled, and what you're seeing is
have you seen video of Mike McDaniel's introductory presser and the leather jacket that he is wearing?
How would you describe that leather jacket that he's wearing?
Incredible. It almost looks like it's woven, or maybe it's like knighted where they like beat it up like armor, so it has little.
It kind of looks like
marks,
like dragon skin.
Yeah, like exactly.
What do you make of his choices?
Glasses, and he's amazing.
His outfit choices.
See, I think he's got some sartorial splendor.
You know the name Buzz Bissinger? Does that mean anything to you?
I'm going to go to no, it's not Buzz Aldrin. That's the astronaut.
That's the astronaut. Yeah.
Dallas, author.
Nailed it. Yeah, he wrote Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights. Okay.
Yep. So he wrote Friday Night Lights, and then he's written other books, and he was used to for a long time did a column in Esquire.
Yep.
For a long time. So when you're talking about Mike McDaniel, I thought of this. He actually wrote about this. I want to say in Esquire. He actually got addicted to high-end fashion clothing.
Okay.
To the point where he basically broke himself financially, just buying like $3,500 Gucci leather pants and such.
Okay.
And wearing them. And every time I see Mike, that's what I think. Now, he's not going to go broke because he has good compensation, and so he's fine.
He's got excellent compensation.
He's going to be just fine. But the amount of money that is spent on clothing and what most of it looks like is designer is pretty extreme, I think, with him.
No doubt. All right, so I got a better picture. Yeah, it is. I think it is woven. I think I had that right. I think it's a woven.
Yeah, it is. It looks like a woven basket, except it's out of leather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His glasses are great. He and Harbaugh are going to be. I think that's going to be a fun buddy cop. I hope that they're Hard Knocks.
So
I want them. I'm declaring I'd like them to be Hard Knocks.
Later on this evening, if you're looking for something good to watch, he was on McAfee today.
Mike was?
Oh, my God. Like, complete, unfettered. Like, I think he said it was like a $12,000 jacket. And they're like, we don't think Jim Harbaugh has $12,000 worth of clothing.
That's why they're the best. That's got to be Hard Knocks. Because Harbaugh he's a great coach, but he's a bit of a weirdo. And then McDaniel's got his quirks. Like that. Who's defensive coordinator there? Have they made that hire with Minter leaving?
No. For the Chargers DC?
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
Yeah. So that, like, if you really got the unfettered look of that operation.
Yeah, that's what I want.
That's gold.
Gold.
Jerry. Gold.
I just think I think he and Harbaugh are going to be hilarious. I think it's going to be.
I would just like to be a fly on the wall for that interview.
Absolutely.
Like Mike interviewing with Jim.
Everything about it. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm for.
Yeah.
I think that is fascinating to me.
By the way, I'm looking. You brought up Romancing the Stone earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great.
War of the Roses.
Yeah.
They just ran it back. It's Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and DeVito. Is it a continuation?
Quite literally is a sequel to Romancing the Stone called The Jewel of the Nile.
Yes. Jewel of the Nile, yeah.
That is just running.
That's 85, so that went 84 to 85.
That's the sequel.
They have that on DVD.
Then they've got War of the Roses, which is Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito again. They're just like,
It all worked.
Let's just keep this. This is a good formula. What can we come up with next?
I don't remember the Jewel of the Nile. Like if it's
I do. I remember the name of it. I don't remember watching it.
I remember watching it as a kid, but I haven't watched
Yeah.
it since then.
Yeah.
And I have no idea if it's any good, but I can confirm that
50% Rotten
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes on Jewel of the Nile.
I mean, Romancing the Stone's got to be like a 90, 78.
War of the
minimum.
Roses is an 84%. Romancing the Stone, 86%.
Yeah.
Body Heat, 1981.
Well, that's-
William Hurt, Kathleen Turner, Mickey Rourke, Ted Danson,
Body Heat?
96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Body
from
Heat? What's that
1981.
about? I don't think that's a family one.
It's not a family one. It's
I'd watch
William
that with
Hurt,
Bootsy.
Kathleen Turner, Mickey Rourke, Ted Danson.
Jeez.
What more do you need to know?
I don't think I've seen that one.
96%. Roger Ebert gives it
1 minute.
2 thumbs up.
It feels like, is that a
Shyster lawyer William Hurt begins an affair with Kathleen Turner, wife of a wealthy Florida businessman. With the help of one of his criminal clients, bomb maker Teddy Lewis, played by Mickey Rourke, hatches a scheme to kill her husband so they can run away together with his money. But complications build upon double crosses, launching the hapless lawyer into a situation far more treacherous than he ever imagined.
So will this news come in
was out in
13 minutes?
1981.
1981.
I don't know, Gibby.
I know, Gibby. We don't know.
Squall
We
came
were
and
hoping
went. We did the best we can. We're out here trying,
30.
kids. I don't know.
we should have been allowed to beat the Squall.
Well, I think we did. Squall beat us. It's through.
You're
Squall
fine.
beat.
You're safe.
All right.
20.
Maybe tomorrow, kids. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, and we appreciate it. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.